Now here are time-lapse star trails centered on Polaris, the North Pole star. And Polaris would be this white dot right there that never moves, never budges or deviates. We can look up at the night sky, and it is highly apparent that it is the stars, the lights, that are all doing a circle around Polaris, which never moves, as hereby depicted. Okay, these are time-lapse star trails. Okay, and you can watch yourself at night. You can watch the stars with your telescope and focus in on any star besides Polaris, and 20 minutes later come out and look in your telescope. That star will be gone. Okay, because it is moving, they say 15 degrees per hour. Anyway, they'll tell you that all these stars in the sky are stationary. Not only Polaris, but the other stars. And the only reason it appears that they are moving or doing circles around Polaris is because the Earth is rotating, spinning faster than a bullet at the equator, the halfway mark on the globe Earth, spinning faster than a mediocre bullet at 1,038 miles an hour. Far faster than the speed of sound, and just as fast as a speeding bullet. And because the Earth is spinning, that it makes everything in the sky look like it's rotating or moving. So they'll tell you, no, the stars aren't moving, the Earth is. And unbeknownst to them, they contradict themselves continually. Why, you ask? Well, here's why. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and trolls, this is why. Because they say this is going on every second of every day of every week, month, and year. What do they say is going on? They say, right now, in the infinite and expanding vacuum universe, the sun is traveling almost 500,000 miles every hour. And that while the sun does that, the Earth is orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. And while it orbits the sun at almost 70,000 miles an hour, that it's also spinning faster than a bullet while it orbits the sun. Okay, so we got three crazy movements going on here when it's just the Earth and the sun. I mean, you got all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these other movements, yes, but with the Earth and the sun, you got the Earth rotating 1,000 miles an hour, spinning, and traveling 70,000 miles an hour while it spins around the sun. And then the sun is moving at 500,000 miles an hour, and it all looks like this. Now this here would be, let's say, a 10-year time lapse, because in all honesty, according to their model, the Earth would do one revolution around the sun per year. So every time you see the Earth do one full circle around the sun, that would be a year. So that would be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. That's a lot of movement. But I don't want you to really think about this per years. I want you to think about this per hour. Every hour the sun is traveling 500,000 miles an hour. And the Earth is traveling 70,000 miles an hour as it orbits the sun. And spinning like a top at 1,000 miles an hour. And it all equals this. Now, do you think it would be possible for us to look up in the sky and see this? Now, don't forget, they'll tell you that these lights in the sky, the stars, are only moving because of the Earth's rotation. That the stars are stationary and they only appear to move because the Earth is spinning. Does it look like we're hauling ass through an infinite vacuum universe? That star Polaris doesn't move all night. Okay, it would have to be moving to correspond to what I just showed you. All night, that star Polaris stays put. It never, ever deviates. Every night of every week of every month. For all known history, Polaris is always in that spot. And the stars revolve around it. Now, when we look up at the night sky, we can easily deduce what is moving. That tree's not moving. The lights in the sky are moving around Polaris, which never moves. So if Polaris never moves and it's always in that spot, you can train a telescope on that star Polaris and come back in 3 hours and it'll still be there. Now any star next to it, that star would have moved because they all move around it. But Polaris there in the center never deviates. It never moves. And you can leave the telescope out all day, come back the next night, look in it, and it'll be right on Polaris, which has not moved. Okay? But they want you to believe that that star's going this way, or in whatever direction they say the sun is orbiting the alleged galactic center of the Milky Way doing this. Okay, it would be impossible for Polaris to stay in the same spot night after night for all known history if this is what is going on. Do you know how squiggly and messed up those star trails would be if this were going on? Okay, all those star trails that I just showed you right here, they would run into each other. These stars would run into those stars, and those stars would run into those stars. You would never have a perfect circular star trail with no deviation if we were whizzing through an infinite outer space vacuum. This could never be what we see at night, every night. Polaris is there and it never budges. And like I said, you can train a telescope on it. Get it in view and leave that telescope alone and come back the next night, look in it, and it'll be right pointed at Polaris again. You do not have to refocus it. I've done it. There's no way that we're whizzing through anything, anywhere. These stars would run into those stars. These are 7-8 hour time lapses. They want you to believe the Earth is traveling almost 70,000 miles an hour around the sun. So every hour that goes by, they want you to believe the Earth that this tree is attached to went that way. But their excuse? Oh, the scale. The universe is so big that 70,000 miles wouldn't show up in this. That's ridiculous, and they know it. And you should know it too. If the Earth traveled 70,000... Now look, when you're on the ground, you could travel 50 feet this way, and no stars will follow you. That is perspective. Okay? If you travel a mile this way and look up, your whole perspective will not be the same as it was when you were standing here. So don't tell me 70,000 miles that the Earth should have traveled this way in its orbit around the sun would not affect this. This clearly shows that these lights are moving in a circle around a stationary star that never budges. And again, train your telescope on that star. And then leave it alone. Come back 2 hours later and look, it'll still be on the star. Come back the next night, it'll still be on the star. As long as no one bumps into your telescope, it'll still be on Polaris. That star never moves. But yet they want you to believe this. You've got to be kidding me. That's why the globe Earth is in damage control right now. If you type in flat Earth 1,000 anti-flat earth videos will come up because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to see this video. They don't want you to question their nonsense. There's no way you could get the time-lapse star trails in the north that we get if this is going on even for an hour. The earth spinning faster than a bullet at the equator while darting around the sun at 70,000 miles an hour, while the sun travels at 500,000 miles an hour. Those are breakneck, asinine, astronomical speeds that, by the way, you don't feel because of the magical, supernatural force, power, thing of gravity that has never been directly detected, identified, isolated, studied, or harnessed on the Earth per current field, wave, beam, ray, or particle. It's all asinine, cannot be demonstrated. And the only reason you believe this stuff is because you were programmed since kindergarten to be a good student and instantaneously believe, memorize, and regurgitate it. For a test, get a good grade, gold star, and you pass. All the while going into massive student loan debt to go pump gas at a gas station because it afforded you nothing but terrible debt. So there you have it. There's just one facet of how asinine the heliocentric model really is.